Price has been the Rays' stopper throughout his career with Tampa Bay, posting a 29-12 record since 2010 when he starts following a Rays defeat. Tonight, it will be a tall task as Price opposes Minnesota Twins right-hander Kyle Gibson off to a sparkling 3-0 start. Welcome to T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball. Tonight at Tropicana Field, the Rays move into their second series on this 7-game homestand as they square off against the Minnesota Twins. Hi again, everyone. Welcome inside the Trop with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. Todd Callis along in just a moment. Well, the Minnesota Twins are in town. The Rays have dominated this series over the last couple of years. They've won 11 of the last 13. This may not be the same Minnesota club that lost 96 games last year. They're off to a good start, and we have a great pitching matchup tonight.
Yes, we do. Kyle Gibson against David Price. You know, Kyle Gibson off to a tremendous start. 3 starts. He's 3-0, has given up just 2 earned runs in 19 1/3 innings of work. And there's nothing fancy about what he tries to do. He's a tall kid, 6'6", does a nice job of driving the ball downhill with a very good sinker-slider combination, uses his infielders very, very well, and there's no reason to think that he's going to do anything but that. Keep it simple is his motto. David Price, as you look at his game logs over the course of his first 4 starts, he is going to go right after what has been a very patient Twins offense. They lead the major leagues in walks, but guess what? I don't think they're going to be able to get away with that tonight. David, just 3 walks on the year. He's going to attack the zone with his, plus pitches, his arsenal, go right after these guys and attempt to take that Twins offense out of its comfort zone.
Well, the Rays are coming off a 2-2 split of a 4-game series against the New York Yankees. Price set to respond and rebound after that subpar start against the Yankees. Against the Twins, 2-2 in 6 career starts. The good news, Desmond Jennings back in the lineup. Todd Callis will have more on that after this.
will be out in the outfield tonight for the first time since the Rays' recent road trip. Desmond was a designated hitter in the Thursday opener against the New York Yankees. A pinch hit appearance in Friday's game against the Yankees, but he hasn't been on the field since that Baltimore series where it just tweaked a little bit of a groin muscle, but he's back in there tonight. When we caught up with Desmond before the game today and also talked to Joe Madden, here are their thoughts about Desmond not quite being 100%, but also playing an aggressive style of baseball.
It's easy to say, go out there and, take it easy and this and that until you get out there in the situation, which I know won't be taking it easy once I get out there. So just got to go out and, I'm going to play as if nothing wrong.
Talked to Ronnie about it. He did some running with them again, and probably not 100%, not a solid, but he's close to it. And it's going to be pretty much up to him what he feels like he can do on the bases.
So good to have Desmond back in the lineup tonight against the Minnesota Twins and Kyle Gibson. We are 3 minutes and 15 seconds away from the first pitch. David Price tries to get the Rays off to a good start in this series. We'll have all the action right around the corner. Enjoy it on Sun Sport.
The Minnesota Twins and the Rays in the house tonight at Tropicana Field. We'll also have access all game long to Phantom Cam as the Rays meet the Minnesota Twins for the first time this season. And a quick look at tonight's starting lineup for Minnesota, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers. Brian Dozier is going to lead off, followed by Joe Mauer at first base. Trevor Plouffe, the third baseman, and Chris Colabello. Quite a story for the guy hitting cleanup tonight for the Twins. More on that later. Jason Kubel in left. Josmil Pinto is the DH, the future catcher perhaps of this Twins ball club. The current starting catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Aaron Hicks will be in center, and Pedro Florimon, the shortstop, batting ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, left-hander David Price, already making his fifth start of this season. You see his record, 2-1, 4.39 earned run average. You're looking to bounce back from his last start. So New York Yankees, he went 5 innings in that start, gave up 6 earned runs, but David said, listen, I felt a lot better than my final line said, so confidence still running high and expect him to be out in attack mode again tonight.
Well, the Twins come in with 9 wins and 9 losses. The Rays are 9 and 10. And we are set to play baseball. Dozier starts the night hitting .219 with some pop in his bat. And the first pitch presented by Pinch a Penny misses. 1 ball and no strikes.
Now already with 5 home runs this year out of the leadoff spot.
May not be the quintessential leadoff guy, but for the Twins he fits the bill quite well. Last year emerged with that power, hit 18 home runs overall last year playing second base. That was second only to Robinson Cano in the American League among second basemen. Chopped toward the mound, and Price quickly off the hill makes the play.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up tonight. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source in the outfield, left to right. DeJesus, Jennings, and Myers across the infield, third to first. Longoria, Escobar, Zobrist, and Loney. Jose Molina will be behind the plate.
Well, here's Joe Mauer up in the number 2 spot in the lineup and playing first base. And that's his home now, first base. Hitting .257. That's a strike.
You just got to believe ultimately so much better for his career as far as longevity. A lot of wear and tear. You know, he's a big guy catching all those years.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, not it's a great problem to have, but when you have a young catcher, as Mauer has always been with this Minnesota ball club, now 30 years old, but established himself at a very young age behind the plate. You want to keep him behind the plate as long as possible, but you also want to extend their careers and their offensive production. And so here he is now at first base. Catching takes a toll physically and mentally.
Oh, it sure does. Well, you're just constantly, you know, in the crouch, and the taller you are, the more difficult it is. He's getting nicked up, balls in the dirt, always beat up. Any catcher that I've ever played with, been around, they're always nicked up all season long.
Strikes him out. 2 up and 2 down.
I'll tell you what, that's something that we've seen a little bit more of from David Price this season, is that changeup as a put-away pitch. We saw it a lot against the Reds. He just showed right here, not afraid to throw it to lefties. And boy, this is high quality. 84, you see how far out in front Mauer is.
That's another one of the things that makes Price so fun to watch, to see his development as a top flight pitcher. And he is that indeed.
Well, that's why I'm so interested in this particular matchup with this team, because the Twins, we talked about the fact that they lead Major League Baseball in walks. They're seeing more pitches per plate appearance than any team in baseball, and yet you've got one of the preeminent strike throwers in the game going against them. Not going to be able to sit back and hope to work counts against David Price. Every now and then maybe, but if you do that, you're going to find yourself in counts like this.
Yeah, he's up there 0-2, Plouffe. That's the way Price has been since he came off the DL last year. He came out firing, attacking the strike zone, and Plouffe takes strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Twins. Rays are coming in to hit. And the Minnesota Twins, tonight's lineup for Tampa Bay, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Joe Madden has Ben Zobrist leading off. Desmond Jennings returns to the lineup in center, and the DH is Matt Joyce. Evan Longoria is at third. James Loney at first. Will Myers in right. David DeJesus in left. Yunel Escobar in there at shortstop again, and Jose Molina, the catcher, bats ninth.
Well, they'll be facing the Twins right-hander Kyle Gibson. Tremendous start to the season, 3-0, .93 earned run average. He's been very, very good. He saved his best for his last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays. 8 shutout innings in picking up that third win.
Yeah, it's hard to think that he could be any better than he's been in his first 3 starts, and he throws a strike to Zobrist to start him. He's allowed those 2 runs all year. Spread over 19 1/3 innings. There's a line drive base hit. Couple of hops to Colabello out there. And Zobrist is aboard.
Well, primarily a sinker slider guy. Ben Zobrist here, the second pitch of the game, gets the changeup. And he stays back long enough. That pitch stays up in the zone, and that will be what to watch for in this matchup. Kyle Gibson, a very good sinker from a tall 6'6" frame. He wants it down in the zone with late movement. Rays hitters want to be patient enough to see it up in the zone where they can drive it.
And let's see how right-handed hitters fare against him. So far, they're only 1 out of 29 this year. There's a high chop, shortstop on the short hop. Foreman, a nice pickup there. He can really play shortstop and made a good play to get Jennings.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Twin defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. Here we go in the outfield, left to right. Jason Kubel, Aaron Hicks, and Chris Colabello. Across the infield, third to first, Trevor Plouffe, Pedro Florimon, Brian Dozier, and Joe Mauer. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. Now, that's why the Twins to this point, Dwayne, they're willing to put up with Pedro Florimon. Maybe not swinging the bat like they'd want him to, but that defense so very, very good. And with a guy like Gibson on the mound, paramount, because he gets a ton of ground balls.
Remember, the Twins for years were a team that, like the Rays, stressed pitching and defense. There's a strike. And all they wanted their pitchers to do was pitch to contact because the defense was so great. Last couple of years hasn't necessarily been that way. But Ron Gardenhire with Florimon there at shortstop. If Florimon can hit just a little bit, they're going to be thrilled with the way he patrols shortstop every day.
Yeah, and they are very reliant on their defense. You talk about pitching to contact. This pitching staff, fewest strikeouts in Major League Baseball. So these guys need to be able to go and get it.
A 1-1 count to Matt Joyce. He's under it. It's a high pop-up left side. Florimon back, and he has a problem with that one. Joyce is aboard. Joyce will be awarded a high pop infield fly base hit there.
You see it all the time. Minnesota, typically, they're coming to the Tropicana Field once a year. And guys, when they come in here, they don't play here very often. You see this all the time. What should have been a routine pop-up to short becomes an adventure and an infield hit for Matt Joyce.
And you can see on these first 2 plays, if Florimon can get there, Plouffe's going to let him have him. And in that case, it was the shortstop's pop-up to handle, but the roof got the better of him.
And it's all about communication and taking charge, but
here's Longoria. Evans swings and misses. Strike 1. Yeah, the only 2 runs scored off Gibson this year. One came on a double play ball that was not turned. Should have been a double play to prevent the run. And the other was on a wild pitch they say should have been a pass ball. So the Rays trying to break out in front early with 2 men on and 1 out.
How about that infield hit by Matt Joyce? Was only the second hit that Kyle Gibson has given up with runners on base.
Amazing.
It is amazing. I don't care. I mean, through 3 starts to have that stat. Of course, he's not given up a hit with runner in scoring position. That's what he finds himself in right here.
Still a 2-strike count to Longoria.
You will see that a lot. A guy with a good sinker like Gibson, they like to throw it down and in, try to get it underneath the swing of the right-handed hitter, and you see a lot of foul balls right off your own foot with a guy like this pitching.
Away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gibson, 26 years old. He's out of the University of Missouri. So a shot of Loney on deck. What are they doing back there at second base? Now, how about this? Of the team the Rays have fielded this year, only one of them has a hit off Gibson when he pitched against them last year. Guys left over. And that was Matt Joyce, who came in 1 for 3 against him. And he gets his high pop-up infield hit.
500 average.
Yep, 2 for 4 against Gibson. The rest of the league wondering what's his secret.
The roof.
Now a full count. Nice job here by Longoria. Down 0-2, battling this young sinker baller to a full count.
You can see how effective that sinker-slider combo is. You can run that sinker down and in on a right-hander, then sweep the slider away. They force you, these types of pitchers force you to cover a lot of ground, and you've really got to stay disciplined against them.
It's like that old axiom. If you can make the ball move in 2 different directions, you can hang around the big leagues for a while. Longoria battling him, fouls that fastball away.
Already an adjustment made by Evan on that pitch in. You really saw him try to get the barrel instead of coming out and try to catch that ball out in front. More of dropping the head right here. Instead of going and getting it up in front where you're going to pound it off your own foot. Look at him try to lower the head right there, and he actually gets underneath the baseball, fouls it the other way. But an adjustment already made. Well, if he's not good down in there, Evan will lose one tonight.
3-2 again is ball 4. And the Rays have loaded the bases in the first against Gibson. Couple of hits and a walk. That brings up James Loney.
Well, that's the kind of guy you like in these types of situations. Bases loaded. Real good idea of what he wants to do up here against Gibson. You see a lot of hitters that'll go up there with a good plan and then 1 or 2 pitches and they come right out of it. James Loney, not one of those hitters.
So big opportunity for the Rays early. And with a guy who's been pitching as well as Gibson has, you think, boy, this would be a great chance to cash in. You don't know how many chances you'll get against him. Into left center field. That's going to fall. Zobrist scores. Joyce scores. 2-0 Rays. James Loney comes through again.
Well, another big hit for the Rays first baseman. First pitch. Ball away. He just stays right with it. We see him do it all the time. Look at that. Just short, little, quick stride. Drop the head, shoot the ball out into left center field, and give the Rays an early lead. I'll tell you what, Aaron Hicks, too, going after that ball, didn't look very sure of himself. Wasn't really an aggressive break on that ball. Kind of let it play in front of him.
Here's Will Myers. First pitch in there for a strike. Slider to start the sequence of pitches to Will. Real feeling much better about himself coming out of the New York Yankees series. And that started with a couple good at-bats in game 1 of that series.
And who'd have thought that an offer would get you rolling? But they were 4 quality at-bats. And then he took it from there. He said, you know, he's still not there yet, but he's inching closer. And we've seen those signs.
He's such an honest guy, too.
Yeah.
He talks about, sure, I lost some confidence during that stretch. Most guys would go, no way, I'm confident. Are you kidding me? He goes, no, I'm a human being. I lost a little confidence. Now I'm getting it back.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, it reminds us when they were asking him last year about Joe Madden and all the things that he was doing, the mariachi band. And then what do you think about Joe bringing in the snake?
Yeah,
2 words.
He summed it up. He was succinct.
Yeah. Stupid. Be careful when you ask him a question because he's going to give you.
Yeah, you'll get the truth.
You better believe it.
2 runs home. Longoria is at second base now with Loney at first. 1-2 the count to Myers. It's 2-2. Cut right there. Fouling the fastball. We'll do it again. There's David DeJesus on deck. Rays itching to get him started at the plate. The count is full.
This has been an interesting little cat and mouse game here. Last couple of hitters. James Loney aggressive early. A pitch that he thought that he could handle and obviously did. You think about the at-bats of Evan Longoria. Now Will Myers making Gibson work, trying to get that pitch up in the zone, something they can take a good pass at. Forcing him to work hard early.
And ball 4 will load him. Well, the second walk of the inning. The Rays have the bases loaded with 1 out. Rick Anderson will head to the mound.
Well, this happened far too often last year. You know, you look at the Twins and you talk about Rick Anderson, a very good pitching coach, wants those guys out there pitching to contact. Last year, their starters combined for the fewest wins, worst record in Major League Baseball, had the highest earned run average at 5.26 in Major League Baseball. Obviously, that puts a huge strain on the bullpen.
How about this? You talk about continuity, longevity. Ron Gardenhire and Rick Anderson. The Twins have had 2 managers since the middle of September in 1986, Tom Kelly and Ron Gardenhire. They've had 2 pitching coaches in that same time. That would have been Dick Such and Rick Anderson.
It's an incredible run.
Now here's David DeJesus. Big time to break loose. Pitch is low. Longest tenured managers going. Mike Scioscia, the only one with more time than Ron Gardenhire. And third on that list is Joe Madden. You can't beat continuity for success, especially if you get the right people to begin with.
Yeah.
Now 2-0 the count to David DeJesus. David 0 for his last 24. Handling the situation like the veteran he is. He's a quality guy and a quality player. It's been a tough stretch, but here he is ahead in the count.
And a quality count for him. You're right. Should get something to hit here.
2-1. Pretty well located fastball right there by Gibson, and not a good 2-0 pitch to necessarily attack.
He started that on the inner half, let it run back to the middle, so it looks good, but that's not what David was looking for. Going to try to do it again.
Missed. 3-1.
And you know what? You're starting to see Gibson not letting it go. Early in the game, letting it go. Last couple of pitches, almost starting to aim it in there, trying to place it into the glove instead of trusting your mechanics, your delivery, and throwing it there.
It's fouled. So a full count. We've had 3 full counts in this inning, and Gibson's up to 27 pitches already. Saw that pitch riding in on DeJesus. That's foul, pulled up toward George Hendrick. Make sure George gets out of the way. We've got a couple of those on this homestand, but that's enough.
Still got it, though.
Yes, he does. He'll never lose it.
No.
Full count pitch again, and a shot back into right. Colabello going back. It's going to be off the bottom of the wall. Longoria scores. Loney will stop at third. They weren't sure whether that ball might be caught or not. And so Loney, playing it safe, advances only to third. That's a long single off the wall, but a big relief for David DeJesus, driving in the third Rays run of the inning.
Well, gets a pitch to handle there, right out over the plate. In a full count, got to take a rip. David catches it clean, head down. I'll tell you, the Rays hitters' approach as a group against Kyle Gibson it's been outstanding so far. Not just because of the results, but because of the results, how hard he's had to work, deep counts. They're doing what they wanted to.
There's a strike to Yunel Escobar. So the Rays jump on the Twin starter Kyle Gibson for 3 in the first. It's now a 30-pitch inning.
1-1. The Rays have already equaled the hit total that Gibson gave up in his last start against the Blue Jays in 8 innings. They've done it here with just 1 out.
One ball, 2 strikes. Long swing on that fastball by Escobar.
And how about this, Dwayne? All 4 of the hits have come from the left-handed hitters. The righties still haven't.
Wow.
We talk about them trying to get Gibson out of his rhythm. Interesting when we looked at the lineup, how it's set up. Obviously Ben Zobrist's a switch hitter, but it went left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. So you really force him to have to move that sinker to either side of the plate every other hitter. That is not easy to do.
And a good take by Escobar, 2-2. Yeah, that's great planning by the Rays, putting together that lineup.
This looked like a pretty good pitch, too.
Sure did. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Now the 2-2. Wow. And the count is full.
I'll tell you what, if he's not going to get those pitches, then he doesn't have a chance. That's his whole game, down in the zone with the late sink and the slider. If the Rays don't have to swing at those, it'll be a real short night.
Yeah, he's been all over and around that zone here to Escobar, and Escobar called out on strikes this time. Gibson kept firing away and picks up the second out of the inning. Catching Escobar looking. Here's the pitch. How about if I just cut the plate in half? So 2 gone, and here is Jose Molina.
This is your guy, Dwayne. This is the guy that you want up in this situation.
Look at that. 354 lifetime against the Twins with 4 career home runs. It's one of the first things we all noticed when we saw the lineup and put the numbers together.
He's the only guy that Joe Madden trusted to put back-to-back 2 right-handed hitters and hit him down in the 9-hole.
So let's see if he comes through here and helps us along with all the confidence that we've put in him.
Well, golden opportunity. Obviously a little tougher now, down 0-2, but bases loaded already with a 3-run lead. You got a chance to really blow this thing open.
Pitch a little close. He did not offer. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And look at that pitch count continue to mount. It's a lot of heavy lifting early.
Yeah, this will be the 40th pitch of the inning. That's a tough way to start a game. And a take by Molina. 2-2. The Rays sending their 9th hitter to the plate here in the bottom of the first. 3rd time in 4 games now that the Rays have done that. Zobrist let it off with a base hit. He's on deck. Ground ball, deep short. Florman's throw to first in time, and the Rays are finished. The Rays score 3. Loney drove in 2. DeJesus picked up the other run, batted in. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Baseball on Sun Sports, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. Visit your local Checkers for the $2 shrimp and fries box. And by T-Mobile, Tuesday Night Baseball. Rays put together a 3-run first, a 41-pitch inning for Kyle Gibson. And David Price goes to the mound with a 3-run lead. They face the middle of Ron Gardenhire's lineup, starting with Chris Colabello, the right fielder. Colabello off to a great start, the second leading hitter in the American League at .353. And he takes a strike call. He's 30 years old, and what a story he has. He'll be 31 in late October. He spent 7 years playing independent league baseball. One, 2 the count. He played in the Canadian American Association from 2005 through 2011.
You talk about loving the game.
Yep.
And look how it's paid off. My goodness.
During that stretch, he was signed briefly by Detroit for 22 days and went back to the Can-Am League and wound up playing here for the Minnesota Twins. And he's played all over the place. All he wants to do is play baseball.
We talked about that average. He's lead the American League with 20 runs batted in, all on just 1 home run. Even more impressive, he's hitting .421 with runners in scoring position. So when he's been presented with the opportunity, he's gotten it done without the big power numbers.
Well, he's hit the ball all over the place, but he does have some power. And is out on strikes, reaching for that pitch away.
That's another advantage that David Price has. Not only does he have a very good idea of what he's doing out there, but this is a Minnesota Twins team that doesn't see very much of him. He's just had 1 start against this team in the last 3 years. So you saw that the swing right there, that emergency hack at the backdoor cutter. We know David likes to go to that pitch. Obviously, Colabello had not seen it previously.
I don't think they have that in the Canadian American Association.
It's banned.
Pitch to Jason Kubel is a strike. Colabello did get to the big leagues at 55 games last year for the Twins and has gotten off to this great start this year. 0-2. After last year, he played in the European Cup for Team Italy. He didn't want to stop playing. He got to the big leagues. I'm going to play some more. He played for them, and then he went to Mexico and played. Strike 3 call. Kubel caught looking, throws it on a fastball. 4 consecutive strikeouts now for David Price.
And that sequence may have been the most impressive. You know, we see David throw that cutter upper 80s. He's through the first 2 in the low to mid 80s, almost used it like a slider, and then boom, just spot up that fastball right on the corner. Paul Schreiber with a great look at it and a great ring.
Osmil Pinto up here. 1-0. Twins think he could be at one point an everyday catcher. They have Kurt Suzuki filling that role pretty much now most of the time, with Pinto getting a couple starts a week.
Now he's had some shoulder issues with his throwing arm, and that has prevented it. Suzuki, you know, he brought in this offseason to kind of nurture along this pitching staff, help out.
Well, if you're a young catcher trying to develop your trade, they have Terry Steinbach on their coaching staff, and they have Kurt Suzuki with you. And Suzuki's he's a bit like Ryan Hannigan in blocking pitches. Pitchers aren't afraid to throw anything they have with a man at third. Myers coming in from right to make the catch. 1-2-3 go the Twins. David Price with 4 strikeouts in the game. 2 coming in the second of Colabello and Kubel. 3-0 Tampa Bay. To the home half of the second in the game tonight and all season long. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Well, the Rays start from the top again. Here's Ben Zobrist. He pops it up left side. Plouffe angling into foul territory and just outside the line makes the catch. One pitch and one out in the bottom of the second.
Well, and David Price doing his very best to help out the Rays offense. He gets them right back into the dugout quickly, forces Kyle Gibson, who had to work very, very hard in that first inning, right back out there.
Now Desmond Jennings shows the bunt, takes the pitch for a ball. Now the Rays in here off their 2-2 split with New York. The Twins come in, dropping 2 out of 3 against the Kansas City Royals over at Kauffman Stadium. 2-0. Three and nothing. It's a strike. 3-1. And that's going to run the count full. Fastball in there. Gibson out of Indiana. He's tall, 6'6", 26 years old. Went to school at the University of Missouri. Liner into left. Falling in front of Kubel. 3-2 fastball, and Jennings is aboard. Well, there you go. Right-handed hitter in this game has a base hit off Gibson. That's a big deal.
Yeah, only the second one all season. And again, deep count. Got to force him up and into the zone. And Desmond ropes it into left field.
Now Matt Joyce. That takes a pitch too low. He was on in the first inning with that infield pop single. And he scored the second run of the inning. That's a strike, and the count is 1-1. The Toyota trend, Matt Joyce topping the list. Most improved on base percentage year to year. Coming in at .456. Last year finished at .328. Edging out Emilio Bonifacio. Ground ball foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shot foul. Jennings at first with 1 out. Gibson came back from Tommy John surgery. Young lady, a couple of souvenir baseballs down there. She's collecting them tonight.
And cotton candy. Can't beat it.
Ground ball second. Dozier with the toss to Foreman over to first. 4-6-3 on that double play. So just like that, we go into the third through 2, 3-0 Rays.
We head to the third inning. It is Earth Day as well here, not only at Tropicana Field, but all across America. And we are joined by some very special people. We'll talk to Melanie Lenz with the Rays in just a minute, but we have some people with us from Tampa Bay Watch, including the president, Peter Clark. Tell us a little bit about Tampa Bay Watch, Peter.
You bet. Tampa Bay Watch has been celebrating 21 years of working with the community to restore habitat in Tampa Bay. So we're a small group of scientists that work with 8,000 to 10,000 community volunteers a year to build salt marsh tidal ponds, build oyster bars, protect our bird colonies, all these different environmental projects that really make a difference in the health and quality of the Tampa Bay estuary.
And Melanie joins us, Vice President of Development for the Rays. Melanie, what a special partnership the Rays and Tampa Bay Watch have started.
Absolutely. Happy Earth Day, Todd.
Happy Earth Day to you.
This is the third year of our partnership, and we couldn't be more thrilled. So essentially, every time, or the first time, a Rays batter breaks his bat during the home game, we actually will donate an oyster bar. Or an oyster ball, to Tampa Bay Watch to go ahead and then plant actually in the Bay. And so we can't think of a better way to celebrate, what a great place we live in here in the Tampa Bay area by restoring the health of the Tampa Bay.
The Break a Bat, Plant a Ball program, Eric, maybe as an environmental specialist, you can tell us a little more about how important those oyster balls are to the economy or to the environment.
Absolutely. The oyster domes, we place them along the shoreline and along seawalls. And the oysters, small juvenile oysters floating in the water, will actually attach to them. They'll grow up there. They'll filter between 2 and 8 gallons of water an hour. They're filtering out the pollutants of the bay. They're filtering out the algae that sometimes causes red tide. And in that way, they're actually helping to clean the bay for us.
We appreciate it, Eric, Peter, Melanie. Thank you very much. Earth Day, celebrated with the Rays and Tampa Bay Watch. They continue to do great things here in the Bay Area. Back to you.
Yeah, Todd, you're right about that. And you're right about the fact that this is the best place in the country to live. There's no question at all about that. Kurt Suzuki fouls this one back. And the count goes to 2-2. Rays with a 3-run first. And now Minnesota batting in the third. A 2-2 count on Suzuki. Full count. Aaron Hicks on deck. There's a pop-up foul coming straight back, going to be out of play. Forcing Price to make another 3-2 pitch.
I don't know if I'm going to agree with the Jumbotron, Dwayne. They've got Kurt Suzuki listed at 5'11", 230 pounds.
Yeah, he might have a case against him.
I mean, come on.
He's 5'10" if he's anything. Full count. Been a big help to this Minnesota ball club behind the plate.
Apparently a huge help.
Bigger than most people thought. 3-2. He's out on strikes. Strikeout number 5 for David Price already.
Well, this one he had to work to a full count, and then again that backdoor cutter right there. See David Price, the grip of that pitch. And you can see how it just comes out on the side. That's how you're able to create that same plane, just a little bit of movement.
That's just another example of how great the Phantom Cam is, to see not only the grip but the delivery. You just don't. Before the Phantom Cam, you had no clue, no idea.
No.
And to get that shot is just as good as it can be. There's the Phantom Cam itself. Hicks, a big cut. on a changeup. 0-2. Rays scored 3 runs, 4 hits in the first. And Price has just retired. Hicks on strikes. Caught him looking, and that is strikeout number 6.
Well, again, the backdoor cutter. You know, this is a pitch that David Price, we know he likes it, but he's not been using it this year as much as he has in the past. Well, this Minnesota Twins team, who doesn't see a whole lot of him, he's bringing it out tonight, and he is executing it flawlessly. Again, same grip, same release, same result.
Pedro Florimon. 1 ball, no strikes. Florimon, a switch hitter, hitting just 150. He had appendicitis this spring, which really slowed him down. And he's got a pretty long swing to begin with and a switch hitter, so he's got a lot going on there from the offensive side.
Just think about time management. You know, these guys, they work on different things during batting practice. Well, you know, if you're Florimon, you're working, you know, half the time right, half the time left. That just cuts down on what you're able to accomplish.
Will Myers tracking that ball all the way. 1, 2, 3. Go the Twins in the third. Another look from Phantom Cam. 3-0 Tampa Bay, mid-3. Evan Longoria will open the bottom of the third inning. Then James Loney and Will Myers. Evan right back through the middle, base hit into center. Fastball, and he takes it right back over the mound.
Oh, Evan gave him a really good at-bat his first time up, saw a lot of pitches, and then takes advantage here. See, they're right where they want that sinker. Gibson wants to drive it downhill. The Rays want to see it up, and when they get it up there, they're going to be taking rips at it.
James Loney about to step in against Kyle Gibson. He drove in 2 runs with a base hit into left center in the first. Takes a strike. You know, they say there no 2 games in baseball have ever been alike. If you broke down a box score, scored a game, all of the games that's been played, you've never had two the same. He's headed out of play, 2 strikes. How about back-to-back innings being the same? David Price, they're not exactly the same, but the results were in the 2nd and 3rd innings. He went strikeout swinging, strikeout looking, pop fly to right in the 2nd inning. 3rd inning, strikeout swinging, strikeout looking, pop fly to right for the 3rd out. This one up the left side. That's going to be fair and roll to the corner. Longoria goes to 3rd on the double by Loney.
Well, they just keep the pressure on. James Loney again using the left side of the field. Good ball moving away, but it had a little bit of height to it. And James Loney just reaches out there and pokes it out into left field. You know, Dwayne, it's for that very reason. David Price's back-to-back innings. It's for that very reason that I do believe that there have been 2 snowflakes that look exactly alike. Firmly believe that.
Well, one almost hit you last May in Kansas City.
Yeah, there may not have been another one like that because that was a rogue giant snowflake.
Yeah, it was just right behind your head.
Trying to catch a quick picture of myself. Snow out in May.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, in Kansas City in May.
And I almost got smoked.
I know. It's amazing. Glad you're here to tell about it. 1 strike the count on Will Myers. One and one. So the Rays with a couple more men in scoring position. Big opportunity here again to add to this lead. One and two.
Well, you watch that enough and you get sore just watching it.
Oh, yes.
The amount of torque that these guys put on their bodies.
And this one away from Myers, and he's out on strikes for the 1st out. Fastball away. Well, it's, you know, we've discussed the topic because Matt Moore's just had Tommy John surgery, and you know that tends to be on the rise here the last year or so. That and we mentioned Gibson has had that. He also had a stress fracture in his right arm when he was still in college. That was in the spring of the draft, before the draft in 09. And it may have dropped him a little bit, but he still went in the 1st round. Here's DeJesus, base hit into right for David DeJesus. Longoria scores. Loney heads to the plate. A base hit and 2 runs batted in for DeJesus. Rays lead 5-0. So David breaking out of that slump. Boy, you feel good for him.
Boy, you sure do. 2 straight hits, 3 runs batted in. He goes out and gets a pitch down and away. But look at him collapse that back leg and get out there. Just really get out with that swing, get around the baseball. Say these Rays hitters up and down this lineup have had a very good plan of attack against Gibson. You know, it's one thing to have that. It's another to be able to execute it. And we've seen him do it in different ways. That would not be a pitch typically you would want to try and pull, but David was able to get out there far enough and strong enough to drop it out into right field.
Escobar caught looking on a 3-2 pitch his first time. As DeJesus at first and 1 out in the 3rd. One ball and no strikes. Samuel Deduno throwing in the bullpen. fastball past Escobar. Gibson's pitch count in the mid-60s. Two balls and a strike. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Rays. They've drawn a couple of walks. That's going to be on the corner. 2-2. Full count. The Rays have had one of those in each of the last 2 innings after working 4 3-2 counts in the first inning. Therefore, the pitch count up for Gibson in the third. And a cut and a miss. So Escobar is the second out. Let's check in with Todd for a moment. Todd?
Yeah, Dwayne, you were mentioning Matt Moore, and we get word that earlier today, this afternoon, Dr. James Andrews completed successful Tommy John surgery in his Pensacola office on Matt Moore. Matt is doing fine after the surgery. He will rejoin the team either tomorrow or for the finale of the series Thursday, and then it's about a 12 to 15-month process. But the surgery, a success today with Dr. James Andrews, guys.
Well, that's good news, and that's the first step in the rehab. Cut the miss, and you know all too well, BA, all about that. When you talk about rehab, let's get it going right away.
Yeah, it's your job. I liked it so much, I did it twice. But yeah, and you know what the thing about it is too, they're so aggressive with the rehab that they're going to start it right away. And I mean, just the most mundane of exercises, just getting your arm out of its sling, starting to move it a little bit, and they're very aggressive with that. They'll have a whole plan worked out for him, and and Matt Moore said himself, he said, now I'm going to take my competitive juices and put it into that. Right, the last little while for him, it's been a waiting game, been frustrating. But now that the surgery is over and he's home, recovering, now the real work begins, and that's something he said he's going to throw himself into so that he can get back and start being effective as quickly as possible. But it is time consuming.
Hate to lose him, but you're glad that this part of it's over and he can begin the process. Ball bounding back all the way up onto the screen, and Jesus will go down to second base. Third wild pitch of the year charged to Gibson.
Just a fastball right down into the dirt, and Suzuki, instead of sliding out there, he tries to backhand it. A lot of times a catcher will get caught flat-footed, not expecting the fastball to be down there. A breaking pitch, off-speed, changeup, maybe, not usually the fastball.
And Suzuki will talk it over with Gibson. Rays had a 3-run inning in the first. They put 2 up here in the third inning, and another man in scoring position. Chopped to third, fair from the bag. Loose throw to first in time, and the Rays settled for 2 runs. 3 hits and a man left. 5-0 Tampa Bay. Orioles and the Blue Jays are playing in Toronto tonight, scoreless in the top of the 5th inning. The Yankees and the Red Sox are going at it. At Fenway, it's 4-0 New York in the bottom of the 3rd at Fenway. Brian Dozier, which is upstairs. Jacoby Ellsbury led off that game with a triple. Going back to Fenway. Tanaka and Lester, the matchup. There's a shot deep to left field off the bat of Dozier. Gone. Turns a fastball around to make it 5-1. First hit, first run, first base runner for Minnesota tonight against Price, and it's home run number 6 for Brian Dozier.
Yeah, how about that? 6 home runs from the second baseman after that season, which he had 18 last year. He gets a fastball here. Look at that, right out over the plate. Head is right on it, and the swing catches it clean. Gets Minnesota on the board. Wait, that's not a look of I know what's gonna I know the ending to this one. Well, that's
right back at Price. Ball deflects to Longoria. A base hit for Mauer, and let's just hope Price is all right. He is asking for time to walk it off. It appeared to get him right in the midsection. A line drive right back at him, and it's good to see him smiling. Ron Porterfield out there. Boy, that ball got back there in a hurry.
David's handling it better than anybody else out there.
That's right. Those facial expressions of concern from everyone else except David. And now finally, as Joe turned around, Madden could smile in relief.
That's why you wear protective gear.
Yep. That's exactly why. So Mauer is at first. A couple of hits, and here's Plouffe. There's the strike. A 1-strike count. Up the right side, that's going to carry out a play. Dozier has homered. Mauer singled. And now 2 strikes, the count on Plouffe. 96.1 off the bat, that line drive hit by Mauer. That got Price in the midsection. Strike 3 called to Plouffe. So Price comes right back to get Plouffe looking for the second time tonight. And that's strikeout number 7 for David Price.
The same way he closed him out in his first at bat. That fastball in. Watch Molina go out there and freeze that ball right there on the corner. Give Paul Schreiber a good look at it. That's the second time he's got him with that pitch.
Here's Chris Colabello. Starts him with a fastball away. He got ahead of Colabello in the second inning. And then got him with that backdoor cutter.
which continues to give him problems. Well, we've seen David Price, that cutter. Sometimes he throws that pitch and it ends up down in the zone like that one. It almost has the look of a slider. Effective nonetheless.
It's away, 2-1. You know, we talked about the emergence of Dozier as a home run hitting second baseman. Rick Odioso, our esteemed statistician, doing some work in the minor leagues. Dozier averaged a home run every 88 at bats. In the major leagues, one every 31 at bats.
Usually doesn't work that way.
Three and one. Colabello taking a good look at the fastball away off the plate. Jason Kubel is on deck. Takes it all the way out to 3-2. That foul ball. Rays and the Twins tonight, again tomorrow night, and then Thursday afternoon before the Rays hit the road. They'll take on the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Yankees on this next trip. Move to first. Now we're back in.
Check there by David Price to see with the full count if Joe Mauer might possibly be moving. That's how you're going to get a lot of guys as a left-handed pitcher. You get him on that first movement. Because if a guy's going to take off, as soon as you pick up that front leg, he's off and running. So if you choose wisely, you get a lot of guys that way. David got 5 last year.
Colabello fouls it. It's out of play. 3-2 here to Colabello. Second full count Price has had tonight. He now has 35 strikeouts for the year with only 3 walks. 35 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, you get a strikeout to walk ratio approaching 12-1. That's little league stuff.
And a long one to left. That one will get out of here. Colabello hitting it deep into left field. His second home run of the year. And the Twins are right back in it. Two home runs in the inning, 3 runs.
Yeah, and the way that David Price went through this lineup first time through, you certainly did not see this coming. But a backdoor cutter, a pitch that Colabello had some trouble with. And that one cut all the way across the plate, ended up middle in and right into his swing, and that ball got juiced.
So the 5-run lead is now only 2. You see David out there. He rubs up a new baseball. Kubel lifting a high popper on the right side for Loney. 2 gone. The RBIs for Colabello, 21 and 22. He came in leading the American League in that department. Now here's Pinto, the DH. And he singles the other way off a fastball. So 4 hits tonight for Minnesota, all coming in this inning. And the next hitter will be their catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
Joe Madden asked Jim Hickey what is going on. For the first 3 innings, David was just spot on, racking up 6 strikeouts, no hits.
Pitch is down. Well, the Twins got these runs in a span of 12 pitches. Price is always around the strike zone. These things tend to happen quickly when they happen.
And that's one of the adjustments that these Twins hitters have made second time through. First time through, patient approach. David got the jump on him, punched out 6. Second time through, a little bit more aggressive because of the strike throwing, and they've had obviously more success.
One and one. Up the right side, headed for the corner, but it's going to be foul. The count is 1-2. If you have a guy, BA, like David Price, who just pounds the strike zone with great stuff and makes great pitches. But now the lineup knows that second, third time through. You have to move somebody. Move their feet once in a while.
You could do that. I think that's a weapon that every pitcher should move or should use at some point. I think that can be very effective. You change up your patterns.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Next time through, maybe drop in. He's got that curveball that he'll drop every now and then. Drop in a curveball, strike one, and get the jump that way. But that's why you've got to be, if you're going to fill up the zone like David does, and on a percentage basis, more first pitch strikes than anybody in baseball, and it's really not close.
We were pretty close right there.
Yeah, it was.
With a fastball, didn't get the call. It's 2-2.
But if you're going to pitch that way, he's got the stuff that he can do that. But he's got to, always be looking to make quality strikes, and this looked like it was one right here. Borderline pitch, does not get that call. But it's all about changing your patterns. And so now that they've been a little bit more aggressive with it, it'll be up to David to say, okay, how can I combat that? And certainly, if you feel like they're too comfortable in the box and the swings are too big, doesn't hurt to move them off.
Full count now to Suzuki.
Hitting can become contagious. We've seen, look at the Rays. The Rays offense has been feast or famine. But in the last few games, we've seen a number of times 9 men to the plate, 10 men to the plate, 8 men to the plate. Offenses that get on a roll, and all of a sudden you're like, where did this come from? Guys who feel comfortable up there, they're just freewheeling and swinging.
And a cut and a miss. Suzuki strikes out. 3-run score. It's a 2-run game. Fourth inning, flex your fandom with the all-new Rays Flex Packs. These 3, 6, or 9 game packs offer huge savings, great member-only rewards, and special promotions throughout the season. Select any games you'd like to attend. Purchase your Flex Pack by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or visiting RaysBaseball.com. 2 runs the Rays scored in the third. The difference in this game right now. Ben Zobrist, the top of the order up here for the third time tonight. And Kyle Gibson's fastball is in for a strike. Gibson not overpowering with a fastball. Upper 80s, 90, sometimes a low 90s, and he's ahead in the count here with another one at 89, 0-2.
Yeah, more reliant upon late movement, late sink. He wants to wear out the infielders. That is his game.
Yeah, his ground ball rate's almost 65%. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And while that's a really high number, then you think, okay, well, look at Alex Cobb at 73. Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. But here's the deal. What did Joe Madden, when Will Myers was going through his struggles, what was Joe Madden talking about that he didn't like with Will?
Yeah, too much of that.
Too many balls on the ground.
You want to get him airborne.
That's right. And so if you can fill your staff with guys like Kyle Gibson that can keep the ball on the ground.
Put some guys behind him who can catch it.
That's right.
That's a foul ball. Other guys who can catch it are positioned your defense in such a way that it helps. And that's really, the Rays have done both of those. They've had guys with some range who can catch it, and they position their defense.
It's like cheating sometimes. Take great athletes and then put them in even better spots.
Yep.
They can already cover a ton of ground. And that's why defensively, year in and year out, they are at the top of the heap in Major League Baseball.
Well, you take what you have, you figure out the best way to utilize it, deploy it that way, and that's what the Rays have done. Back up through the middle, and another base hit for Zobrist. He's 2 for 3. Rays put the leadoff man on for the third time in the first 4 innings.
Well, it'd be really nice if the Rays offense here could answer what the Twins did. That ball, Kyle Gibson just stays put. He's got a comebacker right back up the middle. Well, you felt really good about this game. You know, the Rays up 5-0. David Price on the hill. Of course, Minnesota tightens it up. The Rays look to push it back out. Leadoff man on board. Doesn't hurt.
Desmond Jennings takes the pitch down. Action again in the bullpen for the Minnesota Twins. DeDuno throwing for the second time tonight. Zobrist back in. Angels and the Nationals are playing in Washington. And the Angels have taken now a 6-2 lead. Albert Pujols hit a 3-run home run in the first to give him 499. And he's hit another one in the 5th inning, number 500 of his career. Want to know the count on Desmond Jennings? A step back by Gibson. Gibson just over 80 pitches. Jennings shows the bunt, takes the strike. There's a bunt pushed up the right side and foul. Ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, those are tough pitches right there to bunt. Desmond Jennings out there trying to make something happen, but bunting a fastball down with late sinking action is asking a lot, especially when you're on the move, trying to push that bunt and get the jump on the pitcher in a race to first. You see with Joe Mauer holding Ben Zobrist on, there's a lot of room for that particular play.
Pitch is in, too tight. 2-2.
Anything that Desmond Jennings can do to showcase that speed. And while even Joe Madden said he may not be at 100% right here, that's still better than most.
Back to first. Yeah, the Rays, not the running team that they once were. They have 4 steals this year. 15th in the league. Tap foul. Foley with a nice little pickup and a distribution of a souvenir.
You know, really, Dwayne, that stat is a credit to Joe Madden and the staff. You know, a lot of managers manage a certain way, and come hell or high water, that's the way that they're going to do it. But you know what? No square peg in a round hole. If you don't feel like you have the speed, the guys that can get it done to the degree that you want them to, then you've got to rearrange how you work offensively.
Liner into center. There's a base hit. Zobrist with a turn. He'll hold at second, and Desmond's on for the second time. And the Rays come right back, knocking on the door to put an inning together. That's 10 hits, and that's going to be enough for Ron Gardenhire. Rays put the first 2 men on. Gardenhire comes out to make a pitching change. 3 innings plus for Kyle Gibson. Runs responsible for 2 men on. 86 pitches for Gibson tonight. And the call to the bullpen by Fiat results in Samuel Deduno entering this game.
Well, Samuel Deduno on for the 6th time, and I'll tell you what, the Rays hitters' approach against Kyle Gibson, a guy who came into this ball game 3-0 with an ERA of under 1, was pretty awesome to watch top to bottom through that lineup. Really forced him up into the zone, and when he did, they made him pay. Going to have to switch gears now against Deduno, but mission accomplished against Gibson.
Deduno has been a starter the last couple years, seeing action with the Twins. Faces Matt Joyce with 2 on, nobody out. Matt takes it for a ball. Duno, 30 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, was 8-8 in 18 starts last year with the Twins, and a .383 earned run average. Two balls, no strikes. Rays trying to rebuild their lead, which has been trimmed to 2. 2-1. Three balls and a strike.
Well, it's been one cutter after the other from Duno.
Evan Longoria waiting to bat next. Toward the gap into left center field, in there for extra bases. Zobrist on his way to the plate. Jennings on his way to the plate. A double for Matt Joyce, and the Rays tack on 2 more to take a 7-3 lead. Second hit of the night for Matt Joyce, his 5th double of the year.
Well, working at bat, see a lot of pitches, and then get one out over the plate. Mistake. Matt Joyce on it again. I'll tell you what, you're going to leave a pitch up and leave it out over that plate, and Rays hitters have been all over it here tonight. 11th hit already.
That completes the line for Gibson. 7 runs, 10 hits, 3 innings plus. Evan Longoria takes a strike. Gibson struck out 3, walked 2, made 86 pitches. So the Rays get him for 7 runs. One and one. Duno off the mound taking this one. And Longoria's the first out of the inning. That will be James Loney, who got the Rays started in the scoring department, driving in 2 runs in the first with a base hit. He doubled and scored in the third. First pitch, a strike. Duno first got to the big leagues briefly in 2010 with the Colorado Rockies, and then the Padres in 2011. It was divided time between Rochester and the Twins in each of the last 2 seasons. Into shallow center, and the ball out of the glove of Dozier. That allows Loney to reach. Joyce had to stay at second. It appeared that one of the infielders might catch that ball.
Well, here was the problem. When both guys continued to converge on that ball and no one peeled off, it had trouble written all over it. Well, you get those gloves going up there together, and there's a lot that can go wrong. They bump into each other, the ball bounces out, but look at right here, both going for it.
It's an error. Charge to Dozier.
Yeah, no one able to secure it. You see Dozier, and he's got Floormon coming at him in the front. And so just that little bit, that ball never securely in the glove, rattled around and came out. Never know what that ball's going to do in there.
Will Myers looks at a strike. So that's the first error of the game. We're in the fourth. Blocked by Suzuki. One ball, one strike. Lifted toward left center. Kubo makes the catch, and the runners will have to stay. Just enough movement on that one to save DeDuno.
Well, listen, a lot of cutters from DeDuno, and this one saved him. See that? Takes that ball right down to the end of the bat. You see the excessive wiggle. Didn't catch it clean, and of course then didn't get the carry that he wanted. That's how close it can be. A little bit further down that bat, and that is a blast.
Now David DeJesus. A 3 RBI night for DeJesus, 2 for 2. It's a strike. One and one. So the Rays up by 4. Their biggest lead of the night was 5. They jumped to a 5-0 lead. Twins made it 5-3. Now it's 7-3. To the shortstop, Floorman. The throw to Mauer, and the Rays are finished in the 4th, but they answer with 2, and they expand the lead to 4. Brought to you by The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in theaters May 2nd. And by Tradewinds Island Resorts. So many ways to just let go on St. Pete Beach. On to the 5th inning we go. Rays have taken a 7-3 lead now. Just monkeying around here at the ballpark. Two little guys enjoying the game. Taking it all in. I mean, all in.
That was good perception by yourself, Dwayne. Very good. I'll tell you what was very good is the Rays answering.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Coming right back with 2. And now Price will be trying to shut down the Twins here in this inning. Get the Rays back on the roll with the momentum they had. Here's Aaron Hicks. First pitch is a strike.
And we'll see what, if any, adjustments David will make because of obviously the Minnesota Twins lineup taking a little bit different approach this second time through.
One and one.
First one we've seen of those.
There you go.
There's the early in the count curveball. Just to give him something else to think about. And, you know, a lot of starters, like David Price, he's got the fastball, the changeup, the cutter. Maybe you hold a pitch back for a little bit. And all of a sudden you break it out in the 5th.
He's so fun to watch. He is a pitcher deluxe. There's the strike. 1 and 2. Those are the kinds of things that really can set a guy apart.
Yeah.
Great arm. He's a smart pitcher. But to have all of those tools and be able to command them, really something special. Two and 2.
Look at this at bat. He's got 4 pitches, and that's what he's thrown. This is started out with a fastball, curveball, cutter, changeup. Okay, you guys want to get aggressive?
Okay, figure this one out.
Yeah.
Wide right there. The count is full to Hicks. Florman on deck, and then Dozier, the top of the order, will follow. Roller up the right side. Well, this has been a good mix of pitches by Price. You got Hicks looking, got ahead of him 0-2 and looking on a cutter the first time. He's thrown him everything, including that off-speed pitch again. Right there. And he cued away. Fly ball toward the right field line. Myers makes the catch. 1 away in the 5th inning. It's now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SunSportsFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Here's the Minnesota shortstop. That's a strike. Short center. A lot of hang time. Jennings 2 gone. So 2 up, 2 down at the top of the order. Bit high. Off speed. 1 ball, no strikes. Pops it up. That's Perloni. Well, we saw a little bit of everything from Price there in the 5th. Including the changeup again on Dozier to pop him up. T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball from Tropicana Field. We head into the bottom of inning 5. The Rays scored all 7 of their runs off Kyle Gibson. He left with 2 men on in the 4th. They scored. Samuel Deduno on the mound. Yunel Escobar looks at that first pitch down a bit. Molina next, and then the top of the order, Zobrist. 1 ball, 1 strike. Escobar has started every game this year at shortstop. A couple strikeouts tonight. That bat has been a little more effective lately over the last week and a half. His average has been up over 300.
He's going to be a streaky hitter. I mean, Escobar's got a big swing.
Yeah, Escobar right there checking the count. I'm not sure he thought he made contact with that last pitch. It was called a foul ball. And so now it's a 2-2 count. He was frustrated after his last at bat when he struck out. That bat you saw, that became a souvenir. Here, take this. So now the count is full.
Worthless to me.
You know, and they want to figure out what the count is, because that one count, that one pitch that appeared to be a foul ball, there was not contact made. And if that last pitch was a ball, it should be ball 4. We're 6 pitches into this at bat. So the umpires are conferring. Well, you don't see this very often.
No.
And Deduno saying, hey, what's going on here? So they can check this, by the way.
And that's exactly what they're going to do.
So there's Ted Barrett, the crew chief, with the headset on. And Paul Schreiber, the plate umpire, joins him. Now take a look at this one. See, that was a ball. That there was a ball. And for a moment, it appeared that that was going to be construed as strike 2. But that was a ball. And I think that's the center of this argument, this concern right now, trying to get the count right. And so just to make sure, and this, under the rules of the whole replay expansion, is certainly permissible here to figure out the count.
It's about getting it right, Dwayne.
It's about getting it right. And you saw Escobar at the time step back and ask the umpire about that. So the count will be 3-2. So here we go. That's a ball. That's a strike. That's a ball. And that's a. And now it's 3-2. And now it's 4-2.
That's a walk.
Oh, and now he's called out on strikes.
Okay, now listen. That's brutal. That would get screwed up like that. I mean, you went back, you just saw all 4 balls. And then the first time you've ever seen a guy get punched out on a 4-2 fastball.
Yeah, let's check in with Todd for a moment.
Dwayne, you showed that play, that pitch that they originally ruled a ball, but some people in the scoreboard room thought it was a foul ball, so they put it on the board as 2-2. Paul Schreiber then changed it, and he said the count's 2-1. It should have been 3-1 at that point, and that's where all the confusion stemmed from. That 2-1 pitch, which you showed, which popped out of the glove, was ruled a ball. Scoreboard put it up on the board at 2-2. It was corrected to 2-1 instead of 3-1, and the rest of the at-bat was wrong at that point.
Yeah, and that's the at-bat, the pitch that Escobar asked about. And so in the review process, they lost a pitch.
Well, yeah, you understand how that can happen, but you went to New York. You went to replay, and it still got screwed up. I mean, how does that happen? You can understand how it happens in the heat of the battle on the field, but you went back and reviewed. How long did it take for us to put up the 6 pitches and see 4 balls and 2 strikes? Not that hard.
Yeah, and our guys in the truck waited to put up those pitches because they didn't want to miss the resolution of the umpiring crew going to New York to check it out. Now the third, so Molina is out. So let's look at that sequence one more time. The at-bat to Escobar. Pitch by pitch. Ball 1. Foul ball, strike 1. That's ball 2. This is a ball. 3-1. That's a strike. It's 3-2. And that's a ball. It's 4-2.
We didn't see the last one. We didn't see the 4-2 pitch he made on the corner.
4-2 pitch was a strike.
Like I said, Dwayne, it's all about getting it right.
It's all about getting it right. Supposed to be.
One thing they couldn't do.
Wow. It's now 2-0. It's the first time I've ever seen a guy strike out on a 4-2 pitch. Two and 1. It's a chopper foul.
You know, here's the thing, Dwayne.
Yes.
If they would have said, okay, wait a minute, that pitch that was up and went off the glove, that was actually a strike.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you do that.
Assuming that. But we have a replay that shows you clearly it was not.
Right. But even if they did.
Yes.
The next pitch would have been strike 3 that he took on what was 3-1? I don't know. I know it ended in 4-2, 4-3.
Yeah. It was a 4-2 count.
That's never happened.
And he was called out on strikes on a 4-2 count. Well, see, that was a 3-2 count, and that's ball 4.
I mean, you know, Escobar still can't get over it. And that's listen, that's a leadoff batter in an inning.
Yeah.
Some runs being scored both ways. You get a leadoff walk. Leadoff walks, they come back to haunt a lot of times, and instead you end up getting a punch out. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Desmond Jennings. It's a strike on the outside edge. That's the biggest point of this. It puts a leadoff guy on. And you know what the percentages are. You put the leadoff man on. Boy, the percentages of the inning change drastically. Instead, the Rays have a man on with 2 outs now. So that mistake essentially has taken an opportunity for the Rays to build an inning completely away if you just base it on the percentages of all the body of information collected through the history of the game. Runner breaks, pitch is a strike, and there's no play as Zobrist is in with a steal at second.
Well, for a team that doesn't run much, that was the easiest stolen base you're going to get. Not only was there not a throw, there wasn't an infielder that even remotely cared about covering.
Two to Jennings.
Are we sure?
And now he's out of there on the 1-2 pitch. Well, it's been that kind of an inning. Jennings strikes out. We go to the 6th. It's 7-3. At least we know the score. With a 3-run first, David DeJesus single home the 3rd run in the 1st inning. Rays had built a 5-0 lead. Brian Dozier built a 4th inning homer, and Chris Colabello hit a 2-run shot that made it 5-3. The Rays answered with a 2-run double from Matt Joyce in the bottom of the 4th. So the Rays had that lead extended out to 4 at 7-3. DeJesus with 3 runs batted in. Loney has 2 and Joyce has 2. Joe Mauer. It's ball 1 here in the 6th inning. After the ball and strikes situation in the bottom of the 5th, we're double checking our math on everything. That's a strike, 1-1. Seven 11-0 for the Rays, 3-4-1 for the Twins. Two balls and a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes here. The count to Mauer. It's ground ball headed for Zobrist. Ben's throw to first. Mauer's out of there.
Well, outside of the controversy surrounding the Yunel Escobar bat, how about the adjustment that David Price has made to this Twins lineup?
It's been excellent.
It has. They jumped him there in the 4th inning, and then all of a sudden he came back, started to mix the pitches early, a lot of change-ups early, weak contact. Saying to these guys, you want to be aggressive? How about be aggressive on this?
1 ball, no strikes, and that's what pitching is supposed to be all about, and he is so good at that.
Well, it's the way, too, that you're able to pitch deep into games. You know, a lot of guys get their cage rattled like that, give up those 3 runs, then all of a sudden they come out, stumble in the 5th inning, they find themselves, out of the game. Maybe still with the lead intact, but their effectiveness is gone. David Price shows you that ability to adjust on the fly, and that's why when you send him out there, you're thinking 7 to 8 plus innings each and every time out.
Well, it shows the mental side of this game and how important it is beyond just the physical ability.
Yeah.
And 2 gone. Ladies, show off your keen fashion sense with the Rays wristlet, only available through the purchase of a Tampa Bay Times ticket tandem to the game on Friday, May 9th. It's the perfect gift for yourself or for mom for Mother's Day. To purchase, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/tandems. Chris Colabello. Colabello swings through the fastball right there. Strike 1. Colabello struck out, surprised on a cutter in the 2nd inning, and then hit a cutter out of here for a 2-run home run in the 4th. A bit. It's 1-1. Colabello out of Massachusetts. Longoria turns and throws. 1, 2, 3 go the Twins. Bottom of the 6th inning. Coming up, 7-3 Rays. action continues at Tropicana Field. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Matt Joyce leading off. Matt with a couple of runs batted in and a run scored tonight. Chops the 1-0 pitch to Dozier at second base. And here's Evan Longoria. All 7 of the runs for the Rays charged to the starter Kyle Gibson. Gibson coming into this game at a 0.93 earned run average, second only in the American League to Mark Burley, who was at 0.64.
We saw Mark Burley twirl the gem here against the Rays, but Kyle Gibson, who in his 3 starts, he'd given up 12 hits.
Yep, in 19 and a third innings.
The Rays almost got him for that in his 3+.
Longoria quickly behind in the count, 2 strikes. Now 1-2. Hey, Rays fans, don't miss tomorrow's Wednesday night showdown presented by Mazda as the Rays take on the Twins. Nick Roberizzi will make that start for the Rays. The pitch is low. It's now 2-2. Mike Pelfrey pitches for the Twins. Pelfrey's had some control issues. Just a little bit of that one, and Evan is still alive at 2-2. Rays and the Twins tomorrow night. Our coverage begins at 6:30. And a day game here on Thursday, and the Rays then hit the road. Back into straightaway center. Hicks backs up right there for it. 2 gone. Kansas City has a 5-1 lead in Cleveland, bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Moustakas has hit a 3-run home run. It's Shields and Salazar, the pitching matchup. First 2 men retired in the 6th inning. Here's James Loney. He's been on 3 times, reaching on an error the last time, but he singled home 2 in the first, doubled and scored in the third. To Dozier. It's a 1-2-3-6. On to the 7th inning we go tonight from Tropicana Field. 7-3 Tampa Bay. Rays lead this game as we go to the 7th inning. The T-Mobile game changer. Let's take a peek at Washington. Albert Pujols connecting for career home run number 500. That extended the Angels' lead in the 5th inning to 6-2. They now lead 7-2. He hit .499 in the 1st inning, and in the 5th inning, career home run number 500. 26th in baseball history to do that in the major leagues. Meanwhile, David Price moves into the 7th inning. The Rays leading 7-3, and Jason Kubel leading off for Minnesota. Pitch is a strike. Kubel has struck out and popped out to first. 2. Pitch just moved right away from him. Cutting action. And strike 3 call. Boy, Price made quick work of him. Strikeout number 9 for David Price.
Well, there's just nothing for a hitter to do when you're going to spot up pitches like that.
Mio Pinto. It's a strike. Pinto had a base hit in the 4th inning, came off a fastball. Breaking ball upstairs that time. Pinto out of Venezuela.
Oh, man.
It's a duel. Ooh.
Yeah,
2-1.
We've seen him make that pitch all night, and it routinely gets cold. Nothing wrong with that.
One out into the 7th. Pinto came up and hit .342 in 21 games last year with the Twins. Started his career in the Twins system in 2006. Now it's 3-1. Kurt Suzuki's the on-deck man. In there, and the count is 3-2. We know for certain.
Sound confident.
We're going to roll the dice. Here is the 3-2 pitch, and he missed. Close. Ball 4, and that's the first walk given up by David Price tonight. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. How about Fox Sports girl Annie Lee? Anna Lee.
Yeah.
And another Web Wednesday.
Big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Big day tomorrow.
All begins at 6:30.
Must see TV.
Kurt Suzuki chops it to second. tag, out at second, out at first. Double play right there on the chopper. It's going to be 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark with the Rays leading 7-3. On top, headed into the home half of inning 7. Well, 2013 saw the emergence of Will Myers, walk-off blast into the Rays tank, along with a wild finish to the season. Who knows what exciting moments 2014 will bring. You can be part of it all. Purchase your 2014 ticket plan package today. For ticket plan information, visit RaysBaseball.com or call 888-FAN-RAYS. Will Myers going after the first one and bouncing it back foul. Strike one. Samuel DeDuno on the mound in relief of Kyle Gibson. One and one. The Rays last year went 6-1 against Minnesota, 4-0 here at the Trop. Since the start of 2012, they've gone 11-2 against them. Pitch has Myers reaching. All of his stuff has been breaking to DeDuno, either a cutter, curveball. He had Myers chasing that last pitch. Another curveball that stayed in, kind of a little arc to the plate more than anything. Down to short. Florimon has it. So Myers is the first out, as promised earlier in the game. We now have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag #SunSportsFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
Grumpy Grampy at Grumpy Grampy 49er.
Great shot.
Hat backwards. Chilling.
Hello to David DeJesus. 2 balls, no strikes. And a nice evening for David DeJesus to break his hitless streak and drive in 3 runs. Shoots it into left center field. He's on base again. Turn at first. Hicks with the ball back to the infield. 1 out single. 3 for 4 for David DeJesus.
Boy, great sign for the Rays there. Get David DeJesus going again, because he's one of those hitters that fits in very well what the Rays try to accomplish. See a lot of pitches, work at bats, battle you. Nice job of staying down through that pitch, taking it the other way.
Yunel Escobar. A little chopper. Kloof to first, and up to second base moves DeJesus. So Escobar didn't wait for the count to get very deep that time. Put the ball in play on the first pitch. We'll get it over with quickly. Now Jose Molina. Molina 3 ground ball outs. Nothing of 3 on the evening. Pitch way wide. Ball, no strikes. Ball deflecting off Suzuki. Rays coming back after the off day yesterday. This begins a stretch of 13 games in 13 days and 26 games in a stretch of 27 days. And the Twins tomorrow night and again on Thursday afternoon. 1-2 the count on Molina, and then on to Chicago. 4 against the White Sox in Chicago. It wraps around into Monday night. 3 in Boston, 3 in New York. Two blocked by Suzuki. Kept the ball within reach. So the Rays have 2 left with the Twins, and then it'll be May before they're back home against Baltimore. Got the Orioles and the Indians coming in starting the 6th of May. Just 2 quick homestands in May. Full count on Molina.
Well, right out of the gate, 2 3-city trips. That's not easy. You're going up to Chicago. They're not pitching well, but they're swinging the bats.
And the good
4.
news that Chris Sale will miss him now.
Yeah.
Going to the DL. Ground ball again, this time Kloof with his throw across the diamond, and for the 3rd time Kloof throws out Molina. On to the 8th. 7-3 Rays. Welcome you back to Tropicana Field, where the Rays have built a 7-3 lead through the first 7 innings of this game. With Brian Anderson, Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you looking in tonight. Nice night for David DeJesus. 3 singles, 3 runs batted in. Matt Joyce, James Loney, double single, a couple of runs batted in and a run each. All the while, David Price, in 7 innings, has given up 3 runs on just 4 hits. Pitch count has been great. 89 pitches, 9 strikeouts, and just 1 walk. That came with 1 out in the 7th before he threw a double play ball. So here we go into the 8th. Aaron Hicks, the center fielder, leads off. Bounds it back.
And because of that double play, he's faced just the minimum over the last 3 innings after the Twins, jumped them there early in the 4th inning. But boy, oh boy, a corresponding adjustment made and right back to dominating pitching for number 14.
One and one. Twins have scored 3 runs, but they have not had, other than on those home runs, anybody in scoring position. They batting with runners in scoring position, nothing of nothing. Rays have gone 5 for 15 in that situation tonight. They have 7 runs and 12 hits. Ground ball, that's going to go through the left side. Hicks has a 1-out single here in the 8th inning. So a runner aboard. Let's check in with Todd again. Todd?
Dwayne, there's a new member of the Rays bullpen who just joined the team today. The gentleman formerly with the Marlins, known as Leo Nunez, now Juan Carlos Oviedo. Here's Joe Madden as to how he'd like to use Oviedo out of the bullpen.
Right, just break him in kind of easily, hopefully, and eventually work him to the back. Give him a chance to get his feet on the ground. Has not pitched in the big leagues in a while. He did some great work prior to being injured. I still believe he's going to be that guy when we get him back out there. His velocity's back up. The split, or whatever you want to call it, I heard that's pretty good also. But you got to see all that stuff and how he reacts to major league hitters.
So you know how Joe likes to use guys as soon as they get here. He was hoping to get him in the game tonight, but we'll see, guys. Back to you.
All right. Well, you see Joel Peralta taking the jacket off down there. Down to first. Loney takes it to second, out there and back to first and through off the front of the dugout. So Hicks out at second, and Florimon reaches on a fielder's choice. Juan Carlos Oviedo last pitched in a major league game on the 21st of September in 2011, and then had Tommy John surgery in September of 2012. And circle that number.
And back into the bullpen experience. Did that with the Marlins.
The top of the order, Ryan Dozier. Pitch is a strike. Peralta's busy in the Rays bullpen.
With the off day yesterday, Peralta may have gotten himself out.
I'm sure he did.
No one even called down.
Just ran down the ballpark, started throwing. Part of his daily routine. It's 1-1. We are not happy to report that Montreal has just beaten the Lightning 4-3. They scored the winning goal with just 43 seconds left. Somehow makes it even worse. Not happy about that. 1-2 the count on the Minnesota second baseman. Hopper, shallow left. Out goes Escobar. He's got it. So 2 gone. Be sure and get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Available dates are going fast. So act now to make your group reservation right behind the Rays bullpen by calling 855-GROUP-TB or online at raysbaseball.com. Joe Mauer. Mauer singled and scored in the 4th. 1 for 3. It's a strike. It's 100 pitches on the night for David Price. Strike at the knees. 0-2. Price right now sitting on 9 strikeouts in the game.
Well, he may be sitting on that, but everybody else here in the stadium standing, looking for number 10.
David had 10 strikeouts in Cincinnati. He got him. Strike 3. Fastball. 10 strikeouts for Price. David Price finishes Mauer. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 7-3 Rays.
of the 8th inning. Don't forget, coming up after the game, the Rays Live postgame show presented by Checkers. A little different scenario tonight. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson will host. Orestes Estrada will be another analyst, and I'll be in the clubhouse gathering interviews. And guys, tomorrow is another Website Wednesday, and it's a Wednesday showdown presented by Mazda. Don't forget to tune in for that. If you have any questions for Dwayne and BA, we'll answer them all game long on Website Wednesday by tweeting your questions to @SunSportsRays, #AskRays. Busy couple of days, guys. Let's go back to Dwayne and BA.
All right, Todd, imparting all that information to us from Todd's Terrace out there, just beside the batting eye. Jared Burton, the new pitcher, the third of the game for the Minnesota Twins. Then Zobrist making his 5th plate appearance. Fouls it for a strike. Ben with 2 hits and a walk. Fouled out to third base. He scored 2 runs. Has a stolen base tonight. 2nd of the year. Tapper foul. 0-2. Burton, 32 years old. It's been a good night for David Price. We saw him walking down the dugout steps there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just your typical dominating David Price performance. 10 strikeouts, 8 solid innings thus far.
Didn't think he threw that ball all that poorly his last time out. But that's just the way it goes sometimes.
And that's exactly what he said, and he's absolutely right. Sometimes even the great ones are going to have an off night here or there, but how you bounce back tells you an awful lot, and bounced back very strong tonight.
1 hop to third. Loose throw. And Zobrist is the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
It's just fun to watch the beginning of this game, the way that he dissected this team. This has been a very patient team. They coming into play, they led the major leagues in walks. They led the major leagues in seeing pitches per plate appearance. A very patient team. I think that's the wrong way to go against David Price, and he showed them that early on. First 3 innings, right through that order. 6 strikeouts. They all of a sudden become a little bit more aggressive second time through, and then he makes the corresponding adjustment and shuts them right down again.
Yeah, the Twins came in 3rd in the league in runs scored.
Yeah,
they've scored 98 runs, 3rd in the American League.
And that's a byproduct of that on-base percentage, which leads the big leagues coming into play. And so you get guys on base, you do a nice job with runners in scoring position, and you're going to put those runs up, and that's what they've done. But David's not going to hurt himself with the walk.
And Jennings looks a towering fly ball to left. Caught by Kubel. So 2 outs in the 8th. On the next edition of Inside the Rays, coming up later tonight, we'll bring you sights and sounds from the Rays spring training camp in Port Charlotte. No fishing with Desmond Jennings, Inside BP with Derek Shelton and Jim Hickey. Learn to make the perfect hoagie from Joe Madden and visit the Boys and Girls Club with Chris Archer. Inside the Rays spring training airs tonight after the Rays Live postgame show. Matt Joyce too low. And that's popped up. He got way under that one. Dozier out from second, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 against Jared Burton. We go to the 9th. It's 7-3 Tampa Bay. Moving into the ninth. Tomorrow's starters presented by Chevron. It will be Mike Pelfrey for Minnesota making his fourth start with an 0-2 mark, and Jake Odorizzi pitches tomorrow evening for the Rays, looking to even his record. He's 1-2.
We've talked an awful lot about David Price's night. Back out there to start the night. Some good off-speed pitches. Spotted that fastball very, very well. I mean, just it's what you typically see out of him. Always in attack mode, going right after hitters, not going to give up the free pass, move the ball around. And there he is.
Well, he's back out here to start the ninth inning with 102 pitches. Yankees have built a 9-2 lead on the Red Sox. Austin batting in the bottom of the eighth. Bluth leads off and drills one through the hole between short and third on a first pitch fastball, and that's hit number 6. Given up by Price. Grant Balfour hasn't been warming up very long. He's throwing in the Rays bullpen right now. There's Colabello up here. He's 1 for 3. He's hit a 2-run home run when the Twins scored all 3 of their runs in the fourth using the long ball. It's outside, 1-0. Well, David pitched 8 1/3 innings in Cincinnati. Made 114 pitches in that game. That's his pitch count high this year. And he's going to get a visit from Jose Molina. Hickey on the top step. Big cut and a miss by Colabello. He was trying to get a couple runs back in a hurry.
Well, he did that earlier in this ball game. Got a pitch he was able to drive out, but David Price just challenges him here. 2-0 fastball. Here it is. Gets it by him.
He does it again. 2-2.
Now he's bringing those up in the zone. Last 2 fastballs right at the top of the strike zone over the bat of Colabello.
Runner at first is Plouffe. Nobody out. The 2-2. Fouled back, came back with another fastball. That went up, but not quite as much as the other 2. Left-handed hitter Kugel on deck. Cutter catches him looking for strikeout number 11.
Well, fastball after fastball after fastball, and then right here, backdoor cutter. Freezes him. I think they just keep running the same shot.
Well, 11 strikeouts for David Price. He had 10 in Cincinnati. And cut and a miss by Kubel. This is the 16th double-figure strikeout game of David's career. And he has a strike on Kubel. David should finish this one. It would be his 9th career complete game. 0-2, a bat tap foul. To this point, the Twins have not put more than 3 men to the plate in any inning except the 4th and the 8th, and that was just a 4-hitter inning. Strike call. Kubel caught looking at a fastball that time.
He's been so good with that pitch. A number of these fastballs away to the lefties that they just cannot pull the trigger. The pitch is just high quality. Look at that. Right on the corner. This is not the same photo. You see that 4-seam fastball, and it comes ripping off those fingers, and he just buries it to that outside corner.
Here's Pito. Goes Mio Pinto. Ground ball by the mound to second. Zobrist tossed to Escobar, and the Rays are winners tonight. And what a performance by David Price as he goes the distance. 12 strikeouts for David Price.